India, as you know, now nuclear, we have a ambitious plan of building 100 gigawatt. Right now, we are somewhere around 8.2 gigawatt. So for building the nuclear power plant, important is the supply chain. And in that, the most critical equipment in a nuclear power plant is one is the reactor and second is the primary coolant pump. Primary coolant pump is even more technology challenging because the rotating moving equipment. A reactor is a stationary equipment. So right now there are some constraints related to primary coolant pump vendors in India because there's only one vendor in India. And Flowserve has been a world leaders in primary coolant pump. But there were challenges related for transfer of technology. I mean, you have to get the US government approval under 10 CFR 810. So it took us almost 3 to 4 years to complete that process for first making the Flowserve agree on transferring that technology. That itself is a big achievement. And that negotiation itself took us more than 5 years for making them agree and getting them to apply to for 810 CFR with the US government, going through all the process. So it is the historic moment because it's the first time under Indo-US deal. The primary purpose of the Indo-US civil deal, the 123, if you remember the 123 civil agreement, was the collaboration between US and Indian government for building for the civil nuclear cooperation. But unfortunately, due to various challenges, geopolitical challenges, not a single technology could be transferred. So this is the first time because it requires this 810 CFR, the CFR 810 approval. So it is for the first time it has happened. And with this, I mean, India will have another options to build the primary coolant pumps. So now for US also, this was the first time. It started, as I told you, the actual journey was more than 5 years for getting all this process. First, getting the main corporate, the Flowserve corporate to agree. Then second, going to the US government. So for US government, there are various departments approval are required. Department of Energy, then there is NNSA, the Nuclear, National Nuclear Security, Ministry of Defense, Department of Commerce. So we went through all that process, and for many of them, there it was the first time. There were a lot of queries that came in. There were a lot of authorization because for transferring this technology, even Indian government has to give an assurance related to that this transfer of technology will be controlled. For giving the assurance, they need an authorization. So Department of Atomic Energy gave us an authorization based on which the Ministry of External Affairs gave an assurance to the US government. So there was a lot of process. See, the difficulty, what you are mentioning of the geopolitical issue has started now between the political issue has started now. But this process is now set. So now it will open the way under Indo-US nuclear, the 123 agreement for many such technology player to come forward. Because now, since core was doing it for the first time, we had to go through many processes. Even US government had to understand many of the processes on the Indian side. So now the process is set. So this will pave the path. We have opened the pipeline for many such technologies now to come to India for localization. So going forward, it will help big companies like Westinghouse or other big technology players also if they're looking for localization and technology transfer forward. Yeah. See, the capacities are already built because we have a unique business model because Core has collaborated where we'll be using the Flowserve's Coimbatore facility for manufacturing. So capacities are there to support the 100 gigawatt the plants of the government of India. So at least we can support 2 to 3 projects, the run rate which government is going on as of now. So we can easily handle 2 to 3 projects in a year for the plants over here. So I would not like to give you the exact numbers because there is a competition and it will be a government, it will follow all the process of the tendering process to get to the final contract. But it's a defining moment. It's a defining moment not just for our country, but also for the end user like NPCIL or NTPC also will be coming in. And now, by localizing this primary coolant pump, we will be developing the sub-vendors also, the supply chains in India. So we'll be undergoing a lot of training programs, vendor development program. So what will happen is for this, there are various critical subcomponents that are required. So we will be, in fact, developing a lot of vendor supply chain. We'll be undertaking a lot of training. So a lot of nuclear technologists will be developed in this process. So we'll be helping the entire ecosystem built on this.
Mhm.
And
And
this will attract the job opportunities also. A lot of job opportunities will also open up in the nuclear, not just in our core flow, sir, but also in the suppliers, the supply chain, each other. Based on this, since the news has passed to the other US companies, so there are US companies who have approached in past couple of weeks. So we might explore with them on the critical technologies because core has the capability to absorb the critical technology. We have the infrastructure and to localize this in India. So as you rightly mentioned, yes, there are a few US companies who have started discussing on some critical components to be localized in collaboration with core. See, for Goting, what I've seen, what we have learned through this is perseverance is important. And first thing is the US company should have confidence on the Indian company. The Indian company should have the capability to absorb that technology. So Indian companies should focus on building their quality, safety system and the reliability of the Indian company. Earlier, I could see the US companies or Russian companies who wanted to transfer the technology, they were a bit skeptical about how reliable the company would be. Of course, the first was the quality and safety, but even reliability was the issue. But you engage with this partner, you should have perseverance and take it to the end. Like for us, I told you it was a 5 years journey. We had to do a lot of meetings. We had been to US, we had met DOS. From the Indian side, we received massive support to the level of MEA, all the top government organizations we were in touch and they were very prompt to support us. But the Indian firms should take an initiative. There is efforts required. I mean, they have to go through this process and then you can see the success that can come. And it's a massive business opportunity in the nuclear.